Hey, welcome to my butterfly garden. My name is Susan and we're going to be spending a little bit of time today in my native wildflower garden. We have been spending a lot of time exploring the new beautiful flowers I have been adding to my flower garden, my nectar garden, but we don't want to lose focus on the importance of natives. Look at this orange coneflower is getting ready to bloom. I hope it's actually orange. We'll find out. I have a feeling it's going to be a shade of yellow, but we'll see. So we'll be back for that. And also down here is this little guy, this little Fringe to blue star. And here it is. It's this wispy little thing. And it's just been chugging along. So I don't know what it's going to do, but it's alive and growing, and that's a good thing. We're just going to clean this Rudbeckia mollis up a little bit. It's still doing all right, but it's not the prettiest plant in the native wildflower garden. And notice all the things that I'm pulling off, I'm just dropping so they can go back into the earth from whence they came. So native plants are hugely important to a wildlife garden, a butterfly garden, a pollinator garden. And yes, it's fun to mix in some other plants. But the suggested ratio is 30% non-native and 70% native. I have not counted all of the plants in my garden. I do not know if I'm at the 70-30 level, but I have a lot of native wildflowers and native plants, native host plants in my garden. So I would guess I'm pretty close. And then right next is another starry rosinweed coming up. And right here on the end of it, see how it's all dried out like that? These around the edge, those are the seeds. So I'm gonna get these into my hand. And I will take them in and put them in one of my condiment cups. Starry rosinweed so far, I believe, is my favorite flower down here in my native wildflower garden. These are native Florida wildflowers because it is the one that gets the most action from pollinators and butterflies. So while I'm here working, look, there's more seeds I can collect. And some there. While I'm working here, I want to deadhead some of these, even though they haven't gone to seed yet, to see if it doesn't increase flower production like it does with a lot of other wildflowers. There are a lot of reasons why it's good to use natives, but I'm going to focus here on two of them. First of all, they're ideal for your garden wherever you live. You just have to find out what's native where you live, because they are perfectly designed to grow where you live. You do not have to do anything special for them. Just plant them in the ground and they should grow. It's a fabulous thing. No special fertilizers, no increased water requirements. Just put them in the ground and let them grow. The other reason why they're so important is because they co-evolved with the pollinators that live where you live, which means they are perfectly designed for those pollinators. Their nectar is perfect. Their leaves are perfect. Their stems are perfect to provide whatever needs the pollinators native to your area need. Yes, pollinators can use exotic plants. Exotic plants are plants not native to your area, but why not give them the best? It's easy to grow. It's perfect for your pollinators. So natives are 100% the ideal way to go. And especially in my butterfly garden, when I'm using host plants, I strive to get native. And then right next to this is my white beard tongue. This bloomed early on. It was one of the first ones in my native wildflower garden that we were in here looking at. And so now those first blooms look like this. And the whole stem is turning brown all the way down. This one you can see also brown all the way down. And I really want to trim that. But more than that, I want to get these seeds. I think these look like the little seed pods for the wild petunia, which they pop. They do a little pop and burst open and the seeds are inside. I think that might be how these work. So I'm just leaving it be and checking every day so I can find out what it's going to do. But I've also noticed that there are more growing up from the base. So my hope is that when these ones get taller, they're going to bloom again. So we'll be checking back to see what happens with that. That's the white beard tongue. And then right behind that is the Simmons Aster. And it keeps getting taller and taller, but it's not flowering yet. But you know, when it is, we're gonna come see it. Because it was getting so tall, it started to lean back. So I just stood a little trellis in behind it so it can lean on the trellis and stay upright. Then right next door is my white indigo. This bloomed early on too. I think it's more of a spring bloomer, but I like the way it looks. It comes up kind of like, here is its stem. It's staked up, right, because it was falling over. But it's kind of like a little tree. It comes up and then puts out branches. I'm right beside it. Look at this here. This is an Elliott's Aster. Now, I had Elliott's Aster down in the wetland garden, and its seeds prolifically spread. This is not a wetland setting for it, but it seems to be doing all right. So we're just going to let it go and make some observations as to whether or not it will thrive outside of a wetland setting. This is a wavy leaf aster. Now this little guy here doesn't have a sign because it came up from seed on its own, which is wonderful. That's what I want happening in this garden. And as we move into this middle area here, there's a hairy golden aster that's still at its basal leaves, hasn't started sending anybody up. An elephant's foot, same situation. There's this, which I don't know if it's a weed or a plant, so I just leave it. Y'all know. Is there a sign? No, no sign. There's this little guy coming up here. Over here is this, which might be a little wavy leaf aster. And then there's another one right there of that, this and that. And then over here is another one of these that I don't know if it's a weed or something we want, so we're just leaving it. And then back here, this little guy bloomed. So I'm waiting for seeds. And that is a slender beard tongue. I think that's the one that we're still waiting to identify. If it was a slender beard tongue or what was the other one? Oh, well, y'all know. Some of you know. You'll let me know. This is Georgia Aster. This was my favorite color Aster. It was a deeper purple, so beautiful. So these died back completely, and then these are all seeds that have come up. Well, no, I don't know what that is. This is the Georgia Aster. And let me tell you, this little Aster right here has been blooming all year. And it's another one we're not sure what it was and we're trying to identify. So when I do, I'll let you know because I love an all-year bloomer. This is another, I don't know what it is. It could be a weed. It's come up on its own right here, and I don't know. I look around and I don't see anything else here that looks like it. So we'll find out what you are, and if you know what it is, let me know. And then there's more of that Aster that blooms all the time. It's just been back here blooming like a champ. And I feel bad. I should know who it is. Right below it, this little clump of grass is a dense blazing star, and this is all that it is. I mean, I don't know if it's going to decide to do something or if it's just happy being that. And then my little patch of wand goldenrod is really getting tall, and I love that it's splitting out at the top. This is a tall ironweed. I love the ironweed. I like the narrow leaf one more, but the tall one just is fabulous. And it looks like, let me see. Yep. There's some seeds, but they're not ready yet. On these, I have found you have to wait till they're ready to blow off. If you pull them out now, they're not completely done, and they don't germinate well. And beside the wand goldenrod is the Savannah blazing star. Now this blazing star is actually coming up and it's getting the little flower buds on it. So it'll be gorgeous when it is ready to bloom back in here, especially with these purpley ironweed. And then when the yellow wand goldenrod is yellow, how pretty, yellow and purple. Those are the wildflower colors of Florida. And then this is a slender blazing star. Look how cute the little fronds are. It's not quite as tall as the Savannah blazing star, but it's working on it. So it's toward the back of the garden. There's the slender blazing star, and there's the Savannah blazing star, and the giant ironweed, and then we look up and there's the starry rosin weeds and the wand goldenrod. This is my ovate leaf plantain. And let me tell you what, this guy is needy. Like, water. And when I planted it, now that it's kind of established, is much happier. So, woohoo, I'm glad it's established. It's like when your child sleeps through the night for the first time. And look, there's something coming up right here. There's something coming up right here. This is something coming up that doesn't have a name, so it came from somewhere. And then this is one of my narrow leaf ironweeds. It's not blooming yet, but it will. There's another baby narrowleaf ironweed coming up there, and this right in front is a Zizia or golden Alexander. It's also a host to the eastern black swallowtail caterpillars. And these are weeds. Here's a little patch of Leavenworth's tick seed, and right out front, this little chunk right here, for whatever reason, did not want to survive, so it's gonna go. Let me trim back these. Oh, that looks better. Now, if you'll notice in this little area, my seed side ageratum is not happy. I'm probably gonna dig that up and try putting it in a pot and see if I can make it happy again. But there's a bunch of Elliott's Asters coming up in here, so that's gonna be fun to watch. Those are the ones that, again, from the wetland garden. And then right front and center is my Coreopsis that I tried cutting back somewhat, and it's just not. So it's probably done. I'm gonna cut it back down to the ground, and that's a plant that will reseed. So in the spring, I guess, maybe we'll see some seedlings coming up. We'll find out. Okay, it's starting to rain a bit, and I don't mind if I get wet, but I don't want my camera to get wet. So you're gonna go in for a little bit, and I'm gonna go trim down those Coreopsis because it's just a gentle rain. No thunder, no lightning, none of that. Just refreshing 5-drop rain. That is an eastern tiger swallowtail, the one I have been waiting for. It's a male though, so I can't get too excited hoping for eggs, but it's a good sign. First one. Look, my hummingbird is out. Look what's coming up. Once I got all that dead stuff cut back, there's new growth at the base, so I guess it just needed a good trim back. All right, we've gone from this walkway down through this main section of my native wildflower garden. And we made it to this walkway. There's just a little bit more on the other side of the walkway till we get into the wetland garden. And we just have some more Leavenworth Coreopsis, and this is sneezeweed. And it's a fabulous bloomer, although it tends to lean. See how it's all leaning forward? So I might try and figure out a way to prop it up. But I love how frilly the leaves are. It's just kind of like fluffy. And actually it really, oh, look, it's back. It just flew right into my face. Where'd it go? Oh, he's behind me. See him? Oh, that's incredible. He sure does like the red pentas though. Look how much of its wing is missing. Can you see that? Like something snatched at it, like a lizard or a bird, that the butterfly got away. Again, amazes me that it can still fly. Also in this section is my Meadow Beauty. It's getting some red coloring on its leaves. I hope that's a good thing. And my little rice button Aster, just growing and getting a little taller. No flowers or anything yet. And my Yaro, which it doesn't want to stand up. I love the leaves on it, and it does have some blooms, but it just wants to lean on this tropical sage behind it. So just kind of letting it do its thing. And then right behind that, actually there's two more plants in here we can talk about, is a snow square stem. This branch is actually leaning way over. So I'm just gonna give it a little trim. The one that's going off that way is getting trimmed, but the one that's going up right here is staying. And you can see a little spent bloom there on the snow square stem. I know I've shown this to you before, but I just love the stems on these. They're gorgeous with that purple, and they're actually square. That's why it's called a snow square stem. And then my Partridge Pee, which it looks like is blooming, but it's not. There is Leavenworth coreopsis coming up in the middle of my Partridge Pea. But my Partridge Pea is looking really happy here. It's grown a lot, and I love its frilly little leaves. Now let's go see what I ordered from Romance Gardens. All right, so I did order 2 more coneflowers, and that's those 2 right there. This is the original one, and this is the other original one. Where's your tag, sir? Where's your tag? Show your identification. There we go. And look at how gorgeous it is. And then this one, Tres Amigos. So pretty in there. Now this plant is completely new to me, and let me tell you, as soon as I put it in here, there were golf fritillaries on it. Look at these flowers. I love the colors. They make me think of the heat in Florida, that hot, fiery orange and red. So beautiful. Let me get the label. There we go. That's who it is, Lucifer. Didn't I say fiery, hot, and red? And his name is Lucifer. Well, that's a good name for it, I suppose. And these have a long blooming season, according to the website. So I think they go into fall. I'm really looking forward to seeing what this does, and honestly, I'm considering going back to see if they have other varieties. Because what I love is I love how it just has the long stem and it just kind of hangs out in the middle of everything, kind of like the balloon milkweed. And so there it is hanging out over the coneflowers. It's beautiful. Okay, and then the other ones are over here in the back lot. This one is a bee balm, but all of its flowers look like that right now. So I'm probably going to deadhead them and see, does it push out more? It looks like it already is. Look. And then this, oh, has another fabulous name. I mean, look, this is a bee balm. Bee balm. Grape gumball sugar buzz series. Remember there was another sugar buzz one? What was it? Oh, something about cherry. Well, I had to get the grape gumball one too. So it's sitting over here. And then I got this. Look how pretty this is. Where's your tag, sir? This is a Gara, gaudy red Gara. Oh, I forgot to show you my Gara over there in the native wildflower garden. Hang on, let's go over there. I want to show it to you real quick. How'd we miss that? Look who's still here. I just don't want to stop filming it. It's just absolutely gorgeous. All right, my Gara, when I bought it, was one tall stem. So I trimmed it off right there. Look at it, was a horrible cut I did there. Look at that. And I wanted to see what it would do, and it did what I hoped. Look at how many branches we've got now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, where we would have 1. Oh, there's another one coming there. 8, and it's getting ready to bloom. So I'm glad I did that. And it'll make much more of a presence now that there's going to be a lot more flowers on the one stem. And just a little swamp milkweed, Asclepias incarnata update. It was all falling over in the walkway. So I took these 2 trellises, and they're just like support holding it back. But it has gotten so tall, and some of them have buds set, so I'll be getting more flowers soon. But funny thing is my flame vine, look, it's down there. The flame vine used to be taller, like you can't even see it. The swamp milkweed totally blocks it. Isn't that something? And look, there's a wild lime back here too, same thing. This used to stick up taller than my swamp milkweed, and now, nope. But I'll take it. I love all this milkweed, and there are some caterpillars on it. I found a big one the other day, like a big one. He was like down, he's probably already gone and pupated. He was that big. I don't see him anywhere. I found a big one over on my Asclepias perennis also. And it's probably gone and pupated too. There's a few little, I just saw some little bite marks. Yeah, here's some here. And there's some over here, so there's potentially baby caterpillars about, hopefully. Oh, and there's something else to show you. Back over here by my red pentas garden, I have a square pot with some woolly Dutchman's pipevine planted in it. And look. Look at these babies. Now, I have this many in the lepidarium, so I can't take all these guys in, but look at how cute they are and how they all hang out together. These are Polydamas swallowtail caterpillars, and I absolutely love them. Wait till you see them grow. They get more and more adorable as they grow. All right, well, I feel like this video is going to be super long. I haven't counted the minutes yet. I just do. So I'm going to go and I'm going to take some pictures of that gorgeous Eastern Tiger Swallowtail, which now I'm like, it has some blue on the back. So I don't know, could it be a female? Y'all tell me. I'm just going to take pictures of it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Here's what I want from you. I want you to tell me what your favorite native wildflowers are for your area. So if you could say where you are, just a state, or you could say your zone, your gardening zone, if you don't want to say your state. Another thing I would love though is if you have a favorite native plant nursery that you love to visit, like me and the Nectary. just put the name of it, or you can put the name of it in the state, whatever you feel comfortable doing. Let's say that. So we can get information. There might be other viewers who watch my channel who live near you, and maybe they don't know about that nursery. So let's help each other out, get some good names of native plant nurseries flowing in the comments. And also let us know your favorite native wildflowers. Hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you've already, I'm positive you've already tapped the like button. If you have been watching my video and you're here at the end, you should just go ahead and subscribe. And you know what? Join the Milkweed crew while you're at it. Bye guys. I'll see you in the next video. Okay, so we didn't quite end yet because there's a beautiful monarch here on this beautiful zinnia, and they just needed to be seen by you. And while I'm taking pictures of my eastern tiger swallowtail, if I find anybody else flying around you need to see, I'll show you.